Hi, this is Jill Aronofsky, Saipanstamper, and I want to share with you a quick and easy fun fold that uses both sides of the designer series paper. I usually make 2 at a time when I do this design, so I'll show you how that works. And I'm going to start with my paper cutter and the Cheerful Daisies designer series paper. So I am first going to score the 12 by 12 paper at 1.5. And I lost my score blade, so I'm using my bone folder instead, which is an adequate substitute. I'm going to score at 1.5, 5.5, and then I'm going to use the swing out arm and go out to 9.5 and cut this piece off. This is going to make 2 cards with this piece of paper. So I'm going to fold this back in. I'm going to cut the scrap that I cut off at 6 inches in half, and I'm going to put those aside. Those are going to be for my envelopes. And I'm going to put this back in. I have the 1.5 score here, 5.5 score here, and the cut at 9.5. I'm going to put this in this way and cut at 5.25. And that's for the first card, and at 5.25 for the second card. This is the only piece of scrap that you have left. So it's pretty thrifty on the paper. This, I should have mentioned, this design is a little bit with directional. It can go this way, but I can also put this on my envelope and it will look good. What you want to do when you put the paper in to your paper cutter is have the side that you want on the inside facing up. And you want, if it's directional, you want it to be at the top. You want it to be looking at it in the direction that it should be facing. So I have my 2 designer series paper. The other thing that I need is cardstock for my base. And I'm going to cut it at the regular size of 5.5. This is Pretty Peacock cardstock, 5.5 by 4.25. So we're just going to use the single sheet of cardstock as the base. And then we need a piece of white for the inside at 5 inches. By 3.25. Whoops, 3.25. Okay, so now I can put my paper cutter to the side. And I'm going to fold the designer series paper. This is the 1.5, this is the back side of the paper. It's good to use a paper that has a really bold print and then on one side and a muted one on the other. So I'm going to fold that one back, and then I'm going to fold at the 5.5. So I have this. This is going to be the front of our card, and this is going to be the inside. So we're going to place it on the Pretty Peacock base. This way. I'm going to flip it over and put adhesive on the back. I love the Seal Plus. It's my go-to adhesive. And you could also use a white background It might have been a little bit more contrast, but I really love Pretty in Peacock and always go to that when I can. So this is going to be your card. This is how it's going to open up, and it's so super easy. I am going to put the white card on the inside. I put a glue dot in each corner. And this is a good way. The reason I pulled out this card is because I have been able to pre-order from the September to December mini catalog. And of course, I'm getting all the paper. I love paper. So I've got to use up my old paper. So this is a good one to use up some of your retired papers. This one's current, but I'll show you some other ones that are retired as well when we're done. This is a new stamp set, and it is called new die cut. Nested Essential Dies. They have these rounded rectangles, the banners, and then this shape here, which I've seen some fun things with. So I've used these two larger sizes, and I used it with white and with Pretty Peacock. So I am going to stamp a saying on here, and this is all we're going to put on the front. We're just going to keep it really simple. You could add some gems or a ribbon, something when you, if you'd like to. So I'm going to use my Pretty Peacock, and I am going to, even though I'm working on a grid paper, I'm going to reach and get my foam pad. I really try to stamp on my foam pad all the time because I think it just gives a much better impression. So I'm going to ink up. These are from the Biggest Wish set. We're going to have Hello Friend. So I love to do these in a combination when I have two colors that I'd like to bring out. This paper has the Pretty Peacock. It has the yellow, and then the background is copper clay. So pretty simple. I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock. I'm going to stamp two of these because I'm going to do two cards. Friend. So I'm going to stamp that in the bottom, and then I'm going to use the copper clay. So I'm using both of the cards from this, both of the colors from this designer series paper, and just repeating them on the saying so that it looks all coordinated. This is copper clay. I'm going to put the hello at the top of that. See, so I really think that the you get a much better impression when you use these foam pads. I highly recommend. And they're pretty cheap, like $4. So I'm going to put dimensionals behind my saying because I love dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the backing off of that. Put it on the Pretty Peacock layer. So we have, you know, the little dots that go all around both of these. And then I want to put it on here. And so I'm just going to put adhesive on the end. And I always use tear and tape for this sort of thing. I could use my Seal Plus, but I just want to make sure that it's going to be on this flap so that it'll open. You could seal this down and just have it open this way, but I like the extra little bit. So I'm going to put this here. Take off the backing of my tear and tape and flip it over. You could also add more dimensionals here if you'd like, and do the hello friend here. So that is basically the card. And when you open it up, you get this. It's a really quick and easy card to do. I do 2 at a time because then I use 1 sheet of paper, designer series paper. I will show you some of the other ones that I've done. Oh, wait, before I do, let me show you what I do with the envelope. I like to put my designer series paper on the envelope as well. This is one of the pieces that I just cut off. And I'm going to put adhesive just on the envelope flap along the edges so it doesn't get caught on the machinery at the post office and cause a problem for them. Press it down, take my scissors and cut this off from the reverse side so you get a nice edge around the envelope flap. It's quick and easy to do. It's impressive to have the envelope that matches your card. People know that they're getting something a little extra special. So that's it, the card and the envelope together. I will show you some of the other ones that I have made. This is a very old designer series paper, but I had lots of it. I think it might have been a free celebration. I used Rococo Rose and the Navy in this one. Here's a happy birthday, also using the same stamp set. I like to open up to the bold pattern on the inside because I think it's more of a wow, but you could reverse it and do the more muted pattern on the inside. This one had a more directional paper, designer series paper. These tulips could really only be up and down. So that's fine for your two cards because they do face up and down, but on your envelope, your tulips would go this way. And to solve that, I just use the other side. I use the dots and it still coordinates and it looks cute. So you can always use the reverse side if your designer series paper is directional and it looks funny on the envelope. Here is one that's with a current paper. And I use the banners instead of the rounded rectangles. Also has a directional paper. And I use that on the envelope as well. I think I have one more. Here it is. So then this one also is an older paper with the circle. I use the Sympathy from a new set that's in the catalog. And there you go. So they're very easy to do. They look nice. It's a way to get a lot of cards down in a short amount of time and use up your paper so you can get more. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this, please indicate so that I know you're here and you've looked at it and I'll be inspired to share more with you. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.